Welcome to Salisbury Anarchy. The year is still 506. We are in session 5 of the year. We're going to quickly meet our gang because it's been a week and a half since last time we met, and we'll go from there. 2 weeks, I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll start with Thomas and pass it to Mark.
Hello. My name is Thomas, and I'm here to say I will also be playing Marshal Edric of Winterbourne Stoke and Baron now of Vagon. He is the Marshal of Exactly. He is the Marshal of Salisbury, and he's had an okay time, surprisingly. Despite being knocked to the dirt by some Fey general, he knocked him to the dirt as well. Damn those Hell Knights. And that's all me.
Mark.
Hello, I am Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, and I today will be playing Sir Florence of Idmiston, Baron of the Axe, and currently the Lord Commander of Wells, the Castle of Wells. Ready for what may or may not be a war that will kill Florence. Yeah.
Indeed. And Liam.
Hey everybody, I'm Liam. I am playing probably soon to be freshly divorced Baron Virgil of Devices. Very much excited to be back once again playing my special little boy, and I'm really excited to see whose lives we ruin tonight.
That sounds about right. And speaking of ruining lives, let's talk for a second about potentially saving lives. So for all those who are not my players currently in the game, I invite you to spend a little bit of channel points where you want. To do so, you're going to go down to the channel points section, and you're going to observe a new feature called bonus card. If I could get at least one person to kindly demo that, what you're going to do is you're going to select the demo card, which is only 250 channel points, and then you're going to tell me who the card is going to. All right, we got one bonus card. Let's find out who it's going to.
Okay. All right. This is scary.
Mark, you get a bonus card.
I do?
That's what they said. All right. So one
This is
second.
scary. I don't like change.
Instant death via shitting yourself.
Instant death.
All right. So now when we select the bonus card, Mark, you have a +3. This is one of your cards, so maybe copy and paste this somewhere. But you can expend this card for the session to get a +3 to either romance, clerk, or crossbow. Sometimes it won't be as useful.
It's probably going to be only one of those.
Yep, and then Trent redeemed one. We'll see who that's going to.
Very nice.
And we'll clean this up as we go.
Thank you, Trent, for making amends for killing my son, my first son, who
Your
would this
firstborn.
very day be 13.
All right, Thomas, a +1 to either recognize first aid or fairy lore. You
Nice.
apply the card before you roll, of course, and the idea of it being so cheap, eventually we'll create a deck of these ahead of time. For now, this is just kind of more of a test, but the goal with these are to give you guys some added bonuses. But we got one more coming from Trent.
Oh, I wonder who that one will be for. Thomas again.
Thomas again.
Also for Thomas.
Yeah, I was right.
No, yes, you're not Trent. Trent redeemed that one.
For Virgil, it looks like.
For Virgo.
All right, +3 to a size test, a hunting test, or a gaming test.
Ooh,
Not bad.
Okay. Hunting. I've been using hunting a lot lately, and I'm not very good at it.
You can save it
I
until
think you can
one of
pick in the
those
moment.
rolls comes out.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So the
take a
idea is-
screenshot and
yeah.
Oh, I get to choose in the moment. I
Yeah,
don't have
so
to make a
think of
choice.
these as having a hand of playing cards. In fact, you can have 2 of these active at any time, guys. If you get a third, you have to discard one of them. And for now, we're
That's
just going to
cool.
have to, We'll eventually get
I
a
love
deck. We'll get a deck going, but for now, we're just kind of playing around with it. And
What a great idea.
I may ignore these at a certain point from non-newbies. We'll put for now, just because we're playtesting it, we'll put a limit to like 3 spends an hour from many of our viewers.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love this.
It's very cool.
All right.
Cool idea.
Where can I put this shit on my sheet? Let's do.
I
here in
screen
the
capped it and put it in Knights of Salisbury for quick looking. It's not the best formatted though.
The odds of me remembering that are pretty slim to none, so I'm gonna put them elsewhere. I think.
Do y'all want to see? I can show you what I'm going to do in the long term real quick because I've started doing it, but I just realized it was going to take too long for tonight, and I want to plan for tonight. But I have. I'll show this to the stream as well. Probably easiest to show it to the stream. All right. So I've started working on this. So we'll have the cards over here. And they'll have 1, 3, or 5 bonus. And when they get entered in, so if I was to put like, let's say sword in again, you'll see that sword now just got another check mark. If I put sword and I put this at a 3, let's say, sword has a check mark over here now for 1 and a 3. So once it gets all 3, it puts a check mark over here, and it'll just help me like keep track of everything. So just a little bit of automation, not to be painful, because it's going to be 222 cards to get everything balanced, which is what. Yeah, so it's going to take some time, but it's a fun little project. Okay, so
Nice.
that is what we're doing. Do you all have a bonus card button on the bottom right hand side of your screen?
No, I do not.
Not at the moment. There is, however, a macro which I can click on, and it appears now.
I now have a bonus card button. Haha. I also have a feast button, but I don't think that does what I want it to do. No, it does not. I'm gonna remove that one.
Yeah, so you can click the bonus card action. You can set it in your in bar, and then it will show up for you. But if someone says, "Hey, you get a card," you can go ahead and keep track of that yourselves. We'll try to do that.
You guys rain cards upon me.
I have clicked it, and it came up with the message, "No table found with that name."
Weird. For bonus
That's what
card?
the feast was doing for me.
Nah.
It is also doing that to me.
Yeah, you guys just don't have access to the tables, probably.
That makes sense.
Macros.
That they're based on. Do I have to give special permissions through the tables? Players can roll from this table. That's why. Now try.
Give us feast as well.
Dude,
Yeah!
Yeah, there we go.
I've got unlimited power now. I can do everything.
That's the problem. He's gone mad with power now.
Okay.
Oh, I still don't have access to feast. Sad.
All right, so we're gonna
could have that much power.
Yeah, the true power is the feast card.
Summon the cockatrice.
All right, let's go ahead.
What does that cost?
Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's see here. We're going to be doing our autumn kind of event, and then into Winter Feast. So there's 1 vignette each. Mark, again, I think you've been getting the primary event, like the first event each time. Okay. Is there anything you want to do before the autumnal equinox, where you'll be meeting in a field with some strange blind seer?
I think he wants to do some politicking. He wants to get a feel because he remembers King Idris in the past gave an offer between him and the current count of, I want to say, the area that Florence's estate is in. I forget.
Ascalon.
Yeah. Ascalon. It was. Was it renamed or is it still Ascalon?
Yeah, Devon, right?
Devon. Yeah. So yeah, he wants to know if the position of Earl of Devon is still up for grabs or if the king has made up his mind.
And how are you doing that from Wells? Like, what's your plan?
He is going to use the friends of noblemen and perhaps any contacts he has made through his time in
Wells? Or Devon?
Probably contacts that he's made in Devon, sending letters out from Wells into Devon.
Okay, so you're doing the whole send messengers dispatch. Okay, I will give you an intrigue minus 5 roll in this case.
All right, intrigue -5. Intrigue -5. -5. Oh, unfortunate. That's a failure.
Well, the letters went out regardless. So you have yet to hear back. That's not surprising. It's probably going to be 6 months. This isn't the thing you get immediately. A lot of the locals here in Wells don't really have that information for you. And you haven't heard of, what was his name? Urban, right? Sir Urban? You haven't heard his name for some time. Urban. Irwin is the other guy from Salisbury.
Yeah, Owen's our guy. If he switched sides, we'd be in trouble.
All right. I think we can move on to the ceremony then, if that's the case.
All right. That works.
Okay. So let's start with D10 roll and then 2D100. Well, we'll see about the 2D100. Start with a D10 roll.
1.
2D100.
29, 67.
29 and
Dragon
67.
and ambush.
Instant death.
That works.
Ooh, purring. Good lord.
She's really going at it.
Okay. So we'll start with who are you, like, what kind of retinue are you taking out to the field for this event? It's going to take place at night, right? At the site of where the pagans were burned. And you need the livestock which you've secured. What other considerations from your perspective do you need?
He would take the knights that he knows are loyal to him, so the knights that are from his home of the Axe, those that carry his banner, and of course he would take the witch and his new advisor who lives in the land. What's her face?
Who is your new advisor? I don't recognize.
She was one of the ladies who was going to be executed, or people who was going to be executed for being a witch. And he was like, "Can you tell me more about these people? I want to learn."
It's the same person.
I thought that was the one that was arrested.
Yeah, she was arrested for being a witch.
Dear old Jessamine. What's her face? Yeah.
No, I thought there were two ladies, weren't there? There was the one that grabbed him and made him have a seizure, and then there was the other lady who was still there when he woke up. The other one was arrested, right?
No, the one who grabbed you was was the one you've been interacting with this whole time, right?
I thought there were two.
I only remember one, but I'm not an authority on that.
I
Yeah,
also
you-
remember one, but I didn't put in the notes what her name was. The latest name I have is Zelena, her succubus.
Is that now?
I'll have to go back and review. In the meantime, let's try to get the names
I'll have a
recorded
go.
for these things.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they just don't line up for someone watching at home. So, regardless, your advisor can be along, but we're not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole then if we don't have clarification. So it'll just be, well, she's busy for whatever reason. So it'll just be her, just be the seer. And the seer is, to be clear, is the one that grabbed your hand is the one that offered to find out more detail for you, not your advisor.
Okay. Yeah.
If you had an advisor. So
that works.
Yeah. Okay. So the event is set up, and the ritual is underway. Are you giving your men? Are you telling your men anything before they watch what is clearly going to be a sacrifice of livestock?
I think he's just going to say, "Do not react unless I say so. Whatever happens will happen, and it will not be spoken of unless it needs to be."
Okay, so the ritual takes like an hour, and it starts at like dusk, and it starts to move towards nighttime at this point. I need a battle test, Florence.
All right. Battle test. Success. 13.
Okay. Your conroy is beset by another conroy having the banners of Nantiliad, and they have full intent to charge you.
Oh, shit. Does he recognize the banner of whoever seems to be leading the convoy, or is it just Nantiliad's banners?
Just Nantiliad's banners. No one you're familiar with.
Boy.
Does it look like a battle that could be won? Or at least have to be driven off?
You pass battle. It looks like a potential. It's about evenly numbered. And
Then he would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your battle indicates that you're able to sort of get ahead of that if you wish.
Alright, I think in that case he would focus his soldiers on defending the site and defending against the attack.
Okay.
He's confident in himself as a commander.
All right. We're going to give you one exchange here, but before we do, so your stance is to basically not to counter charge, but to prepare to defend the charge?
Essentially, yeah. Defending against the charge.
Okay. This isn't fully accurate, but I don't feel like bringing up another card, so nor the mercenary part. This will be your opponent for now.
Alright. Oh, he's got high con. And high lance.
Indeed. When you are ready, this is the person that's coming at you.
Good luck, Florence.
Alright. Let's go. Spear attack. Florence is going to call upon his loyalty to his vassals. He is here to protect them as they are here to protect him.
Okay.
Oh, that's a failure.
Failure, but not melancholic, because it's not 16.
Yeah. In that case, straight spear. Oh, that was a low roll with a 15.
Ooh,
He just
one
beats
above.
me.
Not a crit, though. And his
Ooh.
strength is pretty low.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah. 3 6s, lordy loo.
So orange shield. Knocked
Yeah.
by 16.
Yeah, 29 minus 16, so 13.
13.
But
Exactly half.
what is your size?
13.
Size 13?
Yep.
You will go off your horse. Not without even a test, because double 13 is 26. So, roll a d6 for your horse, for falling off your horse.
It's been a while.
3 more.
3.
Into the mud you go. Give me a squire test. You have a squire, yeah?
Alright. Yes. Sly dog.
You sly dog.
Hey,
You had him monologuing.
you're able to go back on your horse in the same round because of the squire, if you wish.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah, you will. Better be on a horse than not.
yeah. All right. Because of that exchange, we're going to give you a battle test again, but this is going to be -2 against your opponent.
Alright. He is going to call upon his honor. It is by his honor he must succeed this fight. Because if he fails this, he's not going to be able to save the whole whole point that he's here in the first place.
Understood.
Success.
Alrighty.
+5. So that's just straight battle, correct?
Yes.
Plus 3, right? Didn't you say -2?
-2, right? So +3.
Oh, -2, so +3.
Yeah.
Okay then. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. It's a 1 on 20.
Oh,
Still a
lucky.
success.
Yep. So I did 15 plus 1d4 for his battle, and he got a 16, and you rolled a 17. So you succeed with the 1. Yep. All right. You're gonna have another exchange against him, specifically.
All right.
He's coming back around for another charge. What do you want to do in this moment?
He's going to call upon his homage with the Pendragon.
You already
Cannot
are.
fail,
You're
though.
already
Oh, Steel Passion?
Yep. For this round.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. I thought this was my mistake.
No, you're good.
All right. Lance +5.
Are you countercharging, or are you staying in a defensive position? What's your intent?
That's a good point. He's going to stay with his men in defensive position.
Okay. Do you want to do a full defense, or which would give you a significant bonus, +10, but
No,
doesn't let you do
he's gonna-
damage? Okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
going to fight this guy. Oh, another bad roll.
Better than him.
Just better than him.
Just better than him by one. By one.
An echo of last exchange.
Do I get horse? No, he's not charging. So
You're not charging. Yep.
Oh,
It's not-
20.
Not bad for all things considered.
Yeah, but considering he did 29 to me.
Indeed.
Hey, you're getting old, man. You gotta maybe stay away from the fighting.
Yeah, you can feel the blood like kind of coming down your armor, and it's warm. It's been a while since Florence been tagged this hard, I think. So probably since the exchanges with the Saxons recent years.
Yeah.
All right, another battle roll then.
On the battle roll, this is a different round. He is going to call upon his homage with the Pendragon.
Okay.
He has a greater mission above all this, and it is to serve the interest of the Pendragon. Success.
Okay.
5 to battle. Another bad roll, 11.
Better than him.
Man.
Luck's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Things are working out in the favor of your Conroy at this point. You've won 2 rounds in a row. But he is coming back around for another charge at this point.
Alright, let's go. Still got the Pendragon.
Yes, you do.
Let's go. Come on, just a high roll. It's all I'm asking for. Yes!
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And not a follow-up from
Critical.
him. There you go.
Now watch me get better than you.
Nope.
You want to know the fun thing? If you had
Didn't.
rolled 1 less, it wouldn't have been a crit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a 9. That was close. That was almost it.
Damage and crit.
Oh,
Hey, not bad.
Yeah,
And definitely
terrible.
twice his hit points.
13.
twice the size.
Yeah, twice his size, yeah.
His size is only 12. He's a little guy. So off his horse he goes. Whoa, it's a bad fall. That was a bad fall.
That's rough.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's going to render him unconscious. Let me just quickly check something here.
Be nice.
Yep, he is out cold.
Yeah.
All right.
Bringing him in.
All right, and we'll
Dragging him
do
behind the lines.
we'll do one more battle roll.
Alright. For this last one... He's feeling hospitable. No. He's gonna treat these guys nicely when they're prisoners of war. He hopes that he will...
He was their leader, so him going down doesn't help his battle, to say the least. So.
Yeah. He will call upon his hatred landlord. No. Let's do the love of family, as he wants to live to see his family again.
All right, let's see it.
He doesn't love his family that much.
Interesting. It's an interesting take. You will go down to 15, but you're not melancholic till after this battle, reading through the rules.
Yeah, till the battle is
Very
over.
interesting.
So,
Alright.
and yeah,
Battle
give me a battle roll.
6.
Oh, you certainly beat them. Yeah. Like I said, I had a huge penalty because he went down. -10. So
Yeah.
they begin to scatter against your Conroy. And you've taken him hostage. I will write his name down, but let's get his name recorded. Sir Sin
It shall be done.
Sinshin.
Sinshin.
Sinkin.
Sinshin. Sinkin.
I will record him as Nantiliad Knight who led a convoy against Florence
Okay.
during ritual.
To be fair, there was a good chance they were just riding through the smoky haze, and then we're like, "There's an enemy!"
Oh, we found one.
Hey, that's
see
exactly
shit
what
in
knights
the
are supposed to
Like,
do.
"Ah!"
Get him! Yeah. All right. So the ritual kind of continues as you're patched up, Florence. You can go ahead and have any of your squires test first aid against your individual wounds there that you took.
All right. Well, that's not good.
He's getting fired.
Yeah.
Damn.
Does he
Roll
just-
me-
Does he
roll-
see the blood in the face?
Roll me 2d100. Let's find out.
Alright.
He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
18 and 56.
Betrayal and poison.
All right. Is that your only squire? It is, right?
Yeah, that's his only squire.
What's their name?
He hasn't picked up another squire yet. Sly Dog.
Sly Dog.
Sly Dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I hope Sly
Yeah.
Dog's not gonna die. I like Sly Dog.
Sly Dog.
Sly Dog begins to help you. And he's like starting to patch you up. You feel like the warmth of like something like trickling onto your head. And you kind of look at him and you see that he's got this huge gash right across his shoulder. And he's like, he doesn't realize that he's been wounded. He's in like shock as he's trying to help you. He's like, I'll help you, sir. I just gotta, and then, yeah, you're feeling the blood like trickle onto you.
Yeah. I think he just like places a hand on his shoulder and goes, I think
Which
you should
shoulder?
sit down, boy. The one that doesn't have a giant gash through it. Liam.
Put his hand inside his shoulder.
Yeah, puts his fingers into his shoulder. No.
That's how you get his attention.
And he would call for one of the other mechs to patch him up instead, and I think he actually goes without being patched up. As he like stands tall and be proud, being like, "My squire did a good job, despite the fact he probably didn't."
Yeah.
Cover for him.
You're at like half health too, right?
Less than half.
Yeah, so you're at a state where you will suffer damage just traveling if you don't
Yeah.
get patched.
Hypothetically, could Florence's faithful honor knight, Sir Blethant, offer the services of his own
Yeah,
squire?
let's give it. Yeah, go ahead and I mean we're gonna do that anyways, but we've got Blethyn there. Let's see what happens. Blethyn's squire's probably
Now-
aged up though.
Yes, I don't have a name for his squire, but he probably has one.
His
Well,
name
Craig, roll a
is
D6.
Melier.
Melier.
Here.
Melier. And let's make him, because you've had him for a little while, let's say 19?
Yep, 19, and he's from Ascalon, Cornwall.
Let's do it. Don't fumble, Melier. There you go.
There.
No.
Now, Blethyn, who has an 18 worldly, doesn't quite see the point in what's happening here, but would absolutely offer the services of his squire to patch you up. Getting that delicious 1d3, perhaps putting you above half health, maybe?
Yeah,
Only if I roll a 3. Nope.
Ah,
classic.
Run away.
Okay, the ritual will finish within like a half hour's time, Florence.
Mm.
A lot of your men probably would have been really shocked if they weren't in the process of trying not to die while fighting the ambush away. At the end, she rises. She starts to walk your way. She's got like her
Well?
walking staff, and her head is always covered. If you allow her to, her eyes are always covered
Yeah.
with a cloth.
Well, did it work?
He will be saved soon.
Good. Good, I suppose.
She says, Carol Haig.
Caro, hey. What's that?
She looks at you confused, and she says, the lady in white. The boy you call the Winter Prince.
Yes?
I'm sorry. And then she'll kind of continue on. She's very fatigued, sounds very like strained.
Mhm.
She continues on.
Wait, what happened? Did something happen to the prince?
No.
Garrus like that.
The one you sought is with him.
I see. That is good, isn't it?
It is better, yes.
I see. Well,
Give me, just out of an oddball chance, give me like a folklore roll. I can say honestly that it's nowhere Florence has ever been, so.
yeah.
What?
Success somehow.
Carol Haig, you remember, is the name of the castle where King Leo de Grants hails in Cameliard.
Right, some cameo. Oh, so they're in.
That guy sucks.
He's alright
right?
with that.
I'm not misremembering. That guy sucks.
I don't think you
No,
guys
it's alright.
I don't think you guys ever
That's
had
really
like
kind
any
of-
real exchanges with him. He is someone that didn't show up. You might have opinions because he didn't show up to Albans.
That's right, he wasn't there on St.
Oh,
Albans.
yeah. I don't care that much about that.
I mean, can you really blame anyone at this point for not showing up to Albans? Like, man, you lucked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that is a little suspicious now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Spiritual test, Florence.
Alright. Success?
Yeah. Something about the way she said "I'm sorry" it just stings and it like stays with you for the night. Like you're not sure exactly what she meant by it, but it just stays with you. Maybe you're just stung more by the gaping wounds that you need to repair on your body.
Yeah.
But you know,
Something about the word.
it rests. It doesn't leave for easy rest. It makes your mind churn in ways that probably Florence's mind doesn't churn often. Like I can't imagine Florence being a worrier in most cases. Not from like the boy he was to now. Like
More on the inside, he doesn't do so visually in any way.
yeah.
He has faith, he doesn't need to worry.
Never change, man. Never change.
All right. You get back to Wells, and you're called into a meeting immediately with some the guard captain you left behind. Give him a name.
Yeah.
Sir Nye. Sir William Nye. The
So
science
William
guy.
Nye, the fighting guy.
The William
Yeah.
Nye of science
Yeah.
variety.
You asked me to report, sir, if we saw any of the Roman heraldry. They came through just after you left. They were asking questions about a boy.
Did they say anything about where they were going?
Sir, it seemed like they were here for some reason. Like they were looking through wells.
Curious.
That's all he has to report. He says, they left on the northern road.
Once he has time for himself, he would get that into some sort of letter or missive and would send it off to his old friend, the Black Dog, in the hopes that it might track down where Zagreus is going.
Okay. All right, and we'll visit that towards the end of the session, I think. We will go to... Let's see. Who next? Edric next. Edric. It is
That's
now
me.
fall. Do you have any goals or aspirations for autumn?
I think he's accomplished a number of what he wanted to do, a number of things that he wanted to do. The Wearside 100 is now manned, and with his attacks against the bandits in the forest, they'll be licking their wounds for a little bit. It's not over yet, and it won't be, but I think at the moment he's pretty much good. He just needs to make sure that the knights keep patrolling around the forest and are now around the eastern and southern borders in case of Saxons. And beyond that, just maintaining order. And not martial law, but martial propriety. Oh, hello, Lily.
Okay. Maintain order. That is the number one goal. Do I hear that correct? Roll me a d10.
Let's do it. 6.
All right, and 2d100.
72 and 3.
Okay. Is there any... So when you say maintain order, are you thinking more at the actual Force Gloom? Like trying to keep the weird creatures of the forest at bay? Or is there an emphasis
I think,
here?
yes. Like, actual bandits should be killed with prejudice, and, like, these weird forest bandits that may or may not be strange creatures from the netherworld, they should be fought back as best we can. They will be looking to retaliate if they can lick their wounds enough, so we have to be ready.
Okay. You get orders from the boy Earl. New orders. He wants you to, now that Wessex has proven an actual threat, he would like you to organize within your ranks an assessment of the restoration of the castle known as Winchester. As the castle
Understood.
just beyond Duplain, at the edge of what used to be Hanton and Salisbury.
Indeed. I believe, yes, that's something he can certainly do, and something that's a little within his skill set. It is on the other end of the county, but he doesn't mind that. He's going to do his duty regardless.
Okay. Do you want to send someone on your behalf to do said deeds, or...
Does he have anyone within his ranks who is well suited for A, a strategic assessment, and B, a logistical assessment? Sir Irwin might be a good pick, but from Edric's standpoint, if there's anything worth doing right, it's worth doing personally.
Yeah, you're probably the best bet, save maybe Erwin and Gareth, and I guess the Seneschal Rofus, but that would be more like requesting a favor because it was assigned to you.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think given that it was assigned to Edric, he will probably go. He will leave a garrison and like patrols in place, perhaps with Owen, perhaps with other people, with just essentially orders that this is your strategic priority. If they will come around here, and they will come to cause destruction and devastation. You will not let them.
Okay. And so you're going to hold the line there, but you're going to go personally go oversee this situation with the castle.
Yeah. Under normal circumstances, he might be a little bit iffy about leaving this, since he knows it's a threat. However, it's a direct order, and he knows the Saxons are a threat too. Enemies are everywhere. Yay!
Woo! Okay. You do have like lots at your disposal as a marshal, so I'm going to go ahead and give you. Actually, we can show some of this on the map too. Been a while since we've done that, and while we do, I'm going to give you a stewardship, a siege, and a. Let's go with battle roll to kind of assess,
Absolutely.
you know, what's the current state of this place as you reach here.
Sounds good.
Oh, before you
rolling
do,
stewardship
roll me
first.
a
Yep.
d6 or d10. I mean,
Absolutely. 2.
and 2d100.
40 and 86.
Okay, makes sense.
What a winning hand.
Indeed. Put it all on green.
Okay, so just a quick show what we're talking about here. You're heading from Vagon over here, and you're heading to Duplain, and then past Duplain to Winchester.
Indeed.
Arriving at the castle town, you see what looks like messy remnants, and with that will get you to do the siege battle and stewardship rolls at +5.
Absolutely. Stewardship first. Oh, fumble. Siege. Success. Battle. Success. That fumble is a little bit nasty. Let me check my cards, actually.
You have
I
to,
have nothing for that.
and you have to apply said cards ahead of time, unfortunately, for
Yes,
bonus.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. I get advantage, which is good, because I don't want to fumble on the nerdy thing. It makes... Yeah, exactly.
It would be a
means
real...
the numbers would be wrong.
Yeah, it would.
We go to
it would
war,
also-
we just don't have the money for it.
I think all of us
Exactly.
would kind of feel a little bit of guard seize him energy about it too, you know?
Guards, seize them! That is a success.
Okay, that's a high success too. Yeah, you know, I think your formal assessment after it's done is like, can we just build a different castle? Like, it's that.
Who on earth would come here to... It would cost more to make it functional than it would to actually dig a Motte and Bailey over there.
You know that, like, this is supposed to be Aurelius's, one of Aurelius's seats, like his primary seat in London, and then Winchester was supposed to be his second seat. Same with Uther, but neither of them put anything into it, and it was never really managed since the first king of Britain, High King of Britain, which was almost 100 years ago now. So 80 years
Indeed.
ago. So
So these are ancient ruins by the standard of the day.
yeah, very much. Especially with zero upkeep, messy, right? So
Exactly as it should be.
No, we need to make this place fighting fit, apparently.
okay. You received notice while you're here on like the third or fourth night of assessment. One of your men comes to you and says, "Sir, there might be a bit of a problem.
Speak.
There's a Wessex patrol, sir."
I see. Have they made any hostile movements? He says, like already striding over to get his gear ready.
They appear to be marching on the road, sir. Their destination could be here. It's hard to say.
Edric thinks to his orders. There was nothing said in this or any other council meetings which indicate that it would be in the best interests of Salisbury to start a conflict. However, he's certainly not going to let his men get imperiled, shall we say. I would actually like to see if I could make a battle roll, unmodified, to see if it would be better for us to remain unnoticed, or better to stake a claim, as it were, that we are here. Strategically speaking.
Okay, yeah.
That is 10.
With nothing to defend yourself with, as far as any real fortifications, it would probably be pointless to stake a claim formally.
Indeed.
It would reveal you have, unless your show was simply to posture, you have a force. It would be like marching your force outside the front door. It'd be the equivalent of that.
Exactly. It would show that we have an interest, but we haven't put any effort into defending it. He will say to his people, pull back the outriders and ensure that all fires are snuffed. We do not want to draw attention to ourselves, but stand ready in case they get too bold.
Okay. All right. We see the Saxon army march up to about here on the road. And then they cut across on a trail and head eastward.
Right, so they came north from Wessex and they head east to presumably Sussex, I guess.
It could be a patrol, a perimeter patrol.
Got you.
So force.
So could be a perimeter control around the forest and the mountains. Okay.
They'd be at the borders of both Wessex and Port, right?
Indeed. This is good information, and it's good to know that they either A, are patrolling here, or B, have some interest in the surrounding area. But they haven't looked like they've taken command of Winchester, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very interesting. Edric will make a formal report once the danger is past about his formal assessment about Winchester. Logistically and strategically, it'll take so much effort to do, and it will be discovered and noted unless it's done very quickly or with a surprising amount of stealth. Diplomatically and spiritually, it is an important place in Cymric culture, and doing it would be a feather in Earl Robert's diplomatic hat. It may not be the right time. Furthermore, he will make notice of the patrol that he mentioned, and mention that they were moving east, perhaps to go on a circuit, or perhaps even to make contact with other Saxon entities.
Okay. Noted. All right. And I forgot to give out glory, so we're just going to make this a basic one. We'll do 20 glory. Florence, you're going to get a little bit more because you're actually in life or death combat in this case. So we'll go 30 for you. Edric will do 15 for you here.
Very nice. That would be...
And for the first time in a very long time, I'm going to ask Edric to tick prudent.
Very nice.
Whoa.
Yes. There was no reason to murder them, and it would just show our hand. I have a tick on prudent and a tick on reckless, so I've been running the gamut.
All right. With that, we go to we'll go to Virgil at this point.
Virgil time to do Virgil things?
Indeed.
No, surely not.
What is of your greatest interest, Virgil, for the fall here?
Okay. I've been thinking about this, you see. I think Virgil's plan right now, he's in a pretty good position. I think he wants to continue to secure his power base in Salisbury in preparation for things to come. So I think he would like to work to expand the hounds within Salisbury beyond just his own hired knights, start recruiting some of the famous knights that are here, pitch it as like almost like an early knightly order kind of thing. But, you know, a little bit rougher and more secret policey.
Okay, so the famous knights are known by all, and most of them are declared one way or another. So getting famous knights is pretty difficult, but getting notable knights, which is pretty
well, that's the thing.
Possible.
He's not necessarily trying to bring them under his household. He's trying to bring them into the group. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need to be his knights in the sense that, like, he's paying for their gear. He's willing to do that, but I think there's a little bit more of, like, he's kind of looking at the hounds more of a club rather than just his knights, and he wants more people to be a part of that club. Especially, like, if he can get somebody who's a notable knight within Salisbury, a well-respected person to join it, it would give that group a little bit more legitimacy. Rather than just being Virgil's guys, it would be a Salisbury organization. You know what I mean?
All right, so you're gonna try and wheel and deal in that format. Let me think here. I'm mostly noting from a standpoint of the word famous that there's probably like under 50 famous knights in Logris at this time.
Yeah,
including the three you are.
The goal would be somebody who's really well respected, and would, again, bring like an air of legitimacy. It doesn't need to be in somebody who's necessarily literally the famous quality, but, you know, someone that's not just any guy who's a mercenary. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think Erwin might be a pretty good option for that, but I think he's probably still a little too big dog to be a hound.
Yeah, he's probably a bit more noble as well, as far as like his intentions. A little less might makes right when it comes to that. I think your two best bet, just looking quickly on the map, let me just quickly scroll down. Yeah, I think those are your best. Your best bet, I think you narrow it down to a few different names, and I'll just list them here. So, Sir Robert, who is one of the leaders, he would be the difficult one, but the one with the most political power. He led the loyalists of the late Duke Adaris in your big tourney that you had. So he's one of the faction leads. going with a household knight who's notably famous and could serve dual direction for you is Karanog.
Yeah, you don't talk to me though.
Yeah. And then the third one, probably up and comer, but someone that could fit, is Sir Hayden de Christensen.
Oh, of Christensen. Yeah.
No, Sir Hayden Berwick St. James.
Sir, not appearing in this film. Yeah.
Or not Berwick St. James. Sir Hayden, son of Sir Einion.
That's right. He was Einion's kid. I remember that.
Yeah.
I love
You were
the
the
idea.
chosen one.
I definitely love the idea of Sir Hayden being a part of that. I know he's not as proven as a knight, but he's a solid choice. I do think the most tactical decision would be to go for Robert, though, because he's got guys that look up to him already, and him joining the Hounds as a hangout, as a club, you know, would encourage more people to join it. So. You said that there was some difficulty with that. Was it more about like his nobility, or more about it was going to be hard to convince him?
He would be the harder one to like as someone. Man, my words are really struggling tonight. This isn't just a nobody or a household knight or a merc knight. This is someone with probably 5,000 or 6,000 glory, probably 6,000 glory.
Okay.
Has lands of his own. Would need a real good reason beyond hey, come hang with the bros, like, you know what I mean.
This is that's exactly the kind of guy that I'm looking for. Then, so all right,
he is the steward of the Mere Barony,
right?
Because the barony has been absent with. So basically, the lands of Logris are split up and divided into different ways. There are baronies pocketed through every single county. A duke from another land, he was a steward for that duke. That duke's been missing for 10 years now.
Well, could be just in the forest. Never know.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Where's Mir?
Barony?
Yeah, I can show you. Let's go to the Salisbury map.
Ooh. I mean, I'm already there.
It's easier to show you here. That is Mir.
Yes. Okay.
Not far, just southwest of Vagon, which is Thomas's place.
That's actually perfect then too, because that's right on the border of. That's right on the border of where potentially Cornwall might invade as well. If they don't go with devices, they'll probably go Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, that's my guy then. I think everything's lining up for Virgil to start campaigning for this guy to give him some legitimacy here.
Okay. What do you want to meet and treat with him at the feast at Winter, or do you spend this time collecting whatever sort of incentives you need, or do you want to meet with him in advance of Winter?
I think I'll start buttering him up leading up to the feast. Perhaps send him a gift of some fine horses, or like just do little things to try to start prepping him for the inevitable invitation. You know what I mean?
Okay. Roll
gifts or visits.
Roll me a d10.
Oh, I love a d10. It's my favorite kind of die.
Okay, and 2d100.
I love d100. They're my favorite type of dice. 2d100. That's a 7 and a 45, respectively.
Okay. You'll go ahead and what do you want to do with this here? Do you want to try and you're trying to butter him up? So let's give you 3 rolls like we normally do with everyone else. Courtesy.
Courtesy, yes.
Diplomacy.
Okay.
And intrigue.
Great. Question for you, Mr. Bob.
Unless you want to
If
try
I
flirting.
fail these, no.
Okay.
Maybe no. Question: Can I potentially spend Libram to increase my result if I don't succeed these?
I think he's a wealthy chap, so we'll say for every 10 Libram of your gift, you'll get a +1 for all 3 rolls.
Eee, that's bad. Okay. All right. All
I
right.
believe
That's
in
okay.
you.
All right.
Remember your card as well to see what you got for a card.
That's right.
Size,
I have
hunting, and gaming.
none of those things are going to help me here.
Okay, I'm gonna just to get used to the cards, gang, and just remind the group. Maybe every hour of the game, I'll shuffle a card to y'all. So
Fun.
yeah. So here's another card for each of you. So we're gonna start with Liam. We're gonna go in reverse. Liam.
Do you want us to pull the cards? Because we can now.
Oh yeah, actually, each of you roll a card. Like the bonus card.
Bada bing.
Bada boom.
Okay. Loyalty helps.
Hey, that's pretty nice.
Odds for this, by the way, are in favor of 3s, and then 5s and 1s are more rare, and there's no 2s and 4s. So.
I see. Oh, and it gives you a plus. It gives you that. That's what it gives you.
Yeah.
A plus.
Yep.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. Mace. I've got a great plan here. I think we test loyalty passion, right? If it don't pass,
Mace.
we go in with the mace.
Not yet, Ferb.
I'll remind you too. The passion will only work for one of your rolls in these kind of scenarios.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, in that case, I do have a loyalty passion to test here, and if I give it a +3, it'll be exalted, and that will at least give me a better shot. Oh, but if I fail one of these rolls with an exalted, it has a bad effect, right?
It can. Yep. And backfire.
Yeah. So an exalted would give me a +10. That would give me 13 diplomacy, and that would be my lowest roll. Intrigue would be 23, so I can't fail. Courtesy would be 11. So it would all be on the diplomacy, and it's just over a 50-50 shot. Let's do it. It's more interesting if we do it.
I believe in you.
I'll be spending my bonus card 2 to get +3. My first one was a +1, I'm pretty sure. This one will be +3. I'm spending that to get a +3 to my loyalty lord check.
Okay.
Oh, I like these bonus cards.
Indeed. Your first one was a +3 as well.
It was a +3 as well. Oh, wonderful. Okay, that's not helpful here, but it's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is an exalted success on loyalty lord. Let's get the 2 easy ones out of the way here. So, success on courtesy.
Okay.
Not a crit
No,
on intrigue, which I was hoping for.
It only applies to one of them, Bob said.
No, the card. Yeah, the card actually. Yeah, all of the card applies to just one as well, but that's okay.
Yes, the card applies to the loyalty.
Right, got you. I thought the passion applied to only one.
Yeah, the passion's supposed to apply to only one, but you would have passed all of them anyways, so we're good with that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, in that case, yeah, I'm gonna apply it to the only one that's gonna give me a shot. Or that, yeah. All right, let's do it. Here we go. Come on, Virgil. I'm begging you here, buddy. That would have passed
Very
anyway.
nice. Indeed.
Oh, Virgil's so badass. All right.
Helix.
Okay, so it goes well. You discover a number of things, including that the Mirror Manor right now obviously has been working in communication with Edric, apparently, from this, but has been heavily harried by the forest of late. And you get the clear impression that doing something about the forest and the threat in the forest would be of great interest to Robert.
Perfect. I think the first thing that Virgil will do then is he'll send a portion of his hounds, say 4 of his best guys, to go and spend until the next feast, spend that time down there for free. Like, Virgil will pay for their expenses and everything, and have them just assist with the problem, be extra hands, experienced hands for it. And come the next feast, Virgil will see if he can figure out what he can do to solve that problem.
Understood.
Is it for sure like magical stuff, or is it like just bandits loose in there, or is there any indication?
I need you to test worldly or spiritual.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, clearly it's just some nonsense. No, you only roll the first anyways if you succeed. So take worldly, and I mean, sure, there's sightings of all sorts of things, you know. I think.
Yeah, but peasants are weird.
Yeah, how many times has Virgil encountered something supernatural? Has there been any key ones? I feel like he's a pretty worldly chap so far.
There's been the weird doppelganger.
Oh, there was the weird doppelganger, and there was the weird man in the forest that knew too much that he knew and Virgil hated. And he also tried to give him a Jordan Peterson text.
Yeah. Did he? What was the text again?
It was Jordan Peterson's meditations on philosophy or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Dumped that right in the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
So at that point, one sec. Yeah, I think it's very evident for knowing who Virgil is that there just hasn't been enough exposure where you can't plausibly deny the reality of that which exists elsewhere. It doesn't mean you completely discount it. It just means it's like,
oh, it's probably
odds are it's just men in the forest. Like,
yeah, I'll send some men to lead a charge, and they'll root the bandits out of the forest. Yeah. If it's something worse than that, we'll figure that out when we go.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and change gears slightly and take a quick gander over at Summerland, at the ruins of a hill where the Black Dog has taken residence.
The Black Dog.
And through a series of exchanges, by that being the messenger that was sent forth is not the one that ends up speaking to the Black Dog. Instead, it is one of the Black Dog's own spies that brings back the information that they managed to extract from Florence's messenger seeking him. Sir, I have a message for you.
Speak. Make it quick. I have a headache.
Name this random person. No, hold on. Yep, Sinach. It seems the Praetor's men are back, sir. The Romans. They're looking for a boy.
What?
They're looking for a boy in Summerland.
How long did it take for this message to reach me?
Let's see how long this took for the message to reach you.
By virtue of the mists, it arrived 3 days after it was penned.
He pauses and says, "The messenger that spoke to me of this said that he traveled for almost a month before he found contact with us."
Well then, there's very little time for us to waste. And he turns to his guy, his right-hand man, the one that's still alive. What's his name? I got it written down here somewhere. Kinfire, Lerwith, Karanog. No. Ithel the Squid is my squire. Okay, let's do, pretty sure the guy from Cornwall, actually, Sir Iowith, was one of my top guys. Percy's gonna turn to him and go, "We need to pack up and be ready to move now."
Are we in pursuit, sir? Or are we moving the camp?
I think we're moving the camp. This hill served us well. But I cannot express enough how high the stakes are here. We're about to do what this group was formed for. Nothing's more important. Make it so, give me my briefings on the road, and he points to the spy and he goes, "You, I want you to give me every detail as soon as we're moving. Understood? You'll ride with me."
Okay. You are, I assume you're pursuing as directly as possible the path in which this army was said to have gone.
I have a dog scratching at my thing. What was that?
I assume that you pursue with the best of your haste possible the army that was said to have gone northward.
Correct. I think even if he just engages them in a suicidal harassing to slow them down, he can't let them get their hands on the boy, and they've already lost a lot of time. So it's not going to be a popular decision, and it's probably short-sighted, but he'll even leave behind supplies if he has to, if it'll help them move faster.
Okay. Give me a battle test.
And I would like to test my homage for this, because it's very important.
Okay. Go for it.
Boom. 50-50 odds on critting for this. No, you're kidding me.
You pursue them. You hit their back ranks. They send back ranks backwards to slow you down. And by the time you reach what would be a place of good threat for them, they've crossed into the city of Bath, occupied currently by Cornwall.
Well, we're not slowing them down anymore. We can't beat this force, so Percy's going to call a retreat. We're going to find a place to start staging whatever spies into the city, basically. Whatever we can do to try to figure out what's going on in there and hopefully try to get the boy out.
What's your battle?
Or
your flat battle?
20.
Yeah. Siagrius is probably one of the only military minds you've encountered on at least an imposing. It's hard to say with Nanteliad because you're on the same side. There are impressive components of Nanteliad, but Siagrius seems to always have like just a slight upper hand, or has something deceitful. Definitely honors the concept of a Roman, general. Like
He's consistently been one step ahead, and most of what Percy learned was from Roman books on Roman texts on strategy. So like, he got it right from the source. Percy got it from books and experience. So.
But you can go ahead and add 30 glory to Percy, and then
Yippee.
yeah. And then
I need to kill this guy.
what is Percy's current glory?
Percy's glory is currently well over 6,000.
Okay, is that counting?
Actually, that might not be right.
Yeah, is there a difference between
Percy and
like the black dogs and the true one?
Yes, I think Percy's glory is pretty close to 3,000, but I'm not sure. What year are we in right now?
506.
506. Okay, I haven't updated it since 501. So probably well over 3,000 by this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. That works for me. All right. With that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do our only break of the night. And then we're going to rejoin for Winterfeast in Salisbury.
Alrighty.
All right. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
See you in a
By default, nights start at 21 with Kimmer culture, Christian religion, Salisbury homeland, and a random family characteristic. You can choose different options for all these. There are 5 characteristics: size, dexterity, strength, constitution, and appeal. Size and con determine total hit points and unconscious value. Size and strength determine weapon and brawling damage. Dex keeps a character upright or horsed and is used for starting weapon skills and throwing. Con also affects healing rate. App covers starting social skills, attractiveness, distinctive traits, and seating at feast. Skills have base starting values, some determined by your characteristic scores. Most skills are straightforward, but here are a few unusual ones. Recognize is used for identifying people, folklore for general and mythical knowledge, battle for navigating battles successfully, and hunting for navigating Britain's dense forests. There are 13 paired traits, like chaste, lustful, or valorous, cowardly, where increasing one lowers the other. These define how a character naturally behaves. If a trait is 16 or higher, it's famous, meaning the character defaults to the behavior without rolling. Otherwise, in uncertain moments, a player can roll one trait of the pair. If it succeeds, that's the action taken. If it fails, the opposite trait is tested instead. Over time, traits can shift through gameplay. Passions show what your character cares about, like loyalty, lord, or love of family. They range from unsung 1 to 15, famous 16 to 19, and exalted 20 plus. You can invoke a passion for a bonus, but failure can cause melancholy, creating a -5 penalty, or, in the case of madness, takes you right out of play. Famous passions are riskier, but exalted ones mostly help. In Pendragon, you roll a d20 and want to roll under your tested trait, passion, characteristic, or skill, like Price is Right rules. For contested rolls, the higher success wins, while the lower success is called a partial success. Sometimes you need to roll over a target number for challenges, like breaking down a door. Oh yeah! Rolling exactly your tested value is a critical strike. Rolling over your tested number is a failure. Rolling a 20 on a failed roll is a fumble. Bad news. If your tested number is greater than 20, the extra value becomes a bonus to your roll. This removes failure and fumble risk while boosting your critical chance. Glory measures a knight's fame for their deeds, directly granting permanent increase to their character. To be a knight is to pursue more glory. The more glory, the more recognition, and the greater the benefits to your character. This concludes the basics for a player on how to play Pendragon. The GM can guide the rest. Check out my linked series to find out why you should play Pendragon. It feels like forever, but we've made it to another feast.
It has been quite a while.
Feels like it. I think we're 5 episodes in, so our last one was on the first episode. So, yeah, it's just the pacing of things. I wanted to check. Florence's official title of liaison has been removed, but would he winter, like, or at least hit Christmas feast as a guest in Salisbury?
Ultimately, it would depend if he's required to stay in Wells over the winter. If not, he might come back.
Yeah, you were not.
Yeah.
So
he'll come back.
They'll garrison in the winter. Usually the lords are not, fearful of winter attacks, so they'll leave a garrison behind, and that's what being a noble is. You just get to come and go. Yeah, it's weird, but it makes sense at the same time.
Because attacking in winter is basically a death sentence. You're not going to siege a place in winter.
Indeed.
Fucking watch me. Did you not see that bold 2 I just rolled?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm unstoppable.
You got a success on diplomacy, and now you're what's a great general? I forgot all of them. Now you're Richard Lionheart.
I was going to say Hector.
Hector, good. Hector's good.
Was Cicero a general?
I don't think so.
Cicero was a politician.
So. He was a politician, yeah.
Cassius.
Caesar was a general and a politician.
Oh, you think I care about Caesar? I do. I think about him a lot.
Your name is Virgil. Clearly you've got some love of Roman literature.
All right, before we get started, I need Thomas to open up Constantinian's sheet. And I need him to make a courtesy roll. And I will warn you that the better this courtesy roll, the better the outcome.
His courtesy is not bad. His courtesy is 15.
Okay.
Would there be reason for him to modify it?
This is about recovering his wife from being a Wessex captive. So yes.
He's going to be utterly insane about it and roll his exalted passion.
Attaboy. Although Virgil's mad at you for that, so yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not bad, not terrible. Success on courtessy.
As noted, higher the success, the better.
Indeed.
Constantinian will return this fall or this winter with his wife. And
oh, thank goodness. That was a long time in coming.
acknowledge that all diplomats in Wessex court are now political hostages, including Dallin.
Yes.
Will volunteer in Dallin's case, but he doesn't know that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he fully believed that Dallin was just a little bit too slow and got captured.
Okay.
But yes, very good.
So with that, gang, I'm going to recall the cards. I'm going to do a shuffle. And I'm going to get you guys to roll your app. It's app time. Don't forget about fashion tests.
My app now?
Yeah.
Indeed. Don't forget about anything you have for bonuses here.
Indeed. He's got one of jewelry. And do I still roll twice, or does that no longer happen as Marshal?
You still get that.
Perfect.
Success.
Success also.
Do I roll 6 times because I'm a Baron now?
No.
My special little boy gave me a barony, and I don't get to roll 6 times. That's fucked up.
Right.
Let's see.
He's a tyrant.
And for the first time, my man rolls fashion.
Sylbiu.
The person that I own.
The person you own.
Yeah.
Bob, Mark, what's the bonus that the fashion guy gives you?
+1. +1 to appearance.
Well,
Yeah, it's not
right.
great.
It's okay. It's all right. He's given me a slightly more flattering hat.
There we go.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
What?
Lady Siri! Oh, my little girl.
Oh,
Okay.
Right.
That's everyone near the salt? Oh, Edric above?
Mhm.
Edric didn't get above the salt. Why did I put
no,
him?
I just got a regular success.
And let's talk about glories for before this year. So, just for order stations, Florence or Edric higher?
I currently have 12,831.
And
He's
Florence?
high, 11,000.
I'm at 8.
Oh no.
You're all
You'll get
famous.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Sweet. All right. So that gives us placement. I found out, by the way, in 6th edition, this is the thing I was trying to remember for you guys last time, but I forgot. Fashion works different. So, like, if you don't spend a Libram every year on your clothing, it's like outdated style. And that penalty incurs ongoing. So it's like at some point, it's like, he's wearing 3-year-old clothing? Gross.
I am prudent with my money because my son died in a harsh winter, you dick.
Okay. With that, we pick up with the events of court. Hold on. I gotta quickly check something. It's always important stuff. We also need to see what we're eating.
This looks
Yes.
nice. Like roasted salmon in wine sauce. I'd eat that. Custard and bone marrow pie. I would not eat. Meat tiles
sounds
sounds
great.
okay.
Meat tiles. I had
Custard and bone marrow?
I had
That's
What
better
kind
than
of
heaven.
combination good is there?
Hawaiian
I can't
barbecue.
imagine.
I had Hawaiian barbecue, teriyaki salmon, and bacon fried rice for dinner tonight. It was
Nice.
very good. For my first meal of the day at 6 o'clock, it was quite
Oh, no.
tasty.
Fasting
Hunger is
or
the best
on
spice,
accident?
but it sounds delicious.
Um, okay.
Oh, Iago. He looks different.
Iago. I think it's the same. I think it's the same picture.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking
Yeah.
I've confused him with Rodri.
Yeah, Rudri.
Yeah, Rodri's been on. That'd be great. It's like, Iago, you've been different. You name all these things like, that's my brother. Oh, right.
That's Rodri.
Anyways.
Oh,
Your hair?
who are you again?
I have a really quick question, and it relates to Virgil. Is it known among the knights that you have welcomed in a son that is not of your wives?
Let's.
I
Oh,
wanna know
Promise.
if it comes up.
Cold bastards.
That's yeah. There we go.
Then you got a
Okay.
bastard son now.
I thought you were talking about the wards. I was gonna be like, let's be clear.
No, no.
Neither of those kids are my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's a great question. I think that's something that Bob can answer. I will say that Virgil has not been ever since it was announced that she was with child. Virgil has not been making attempts to hide it, and I don't think his wife has been living at his house. So
Yeah, that's a hot.
There's-
It's a hot scandal. I think at this point.
Yeah.
It's a hot scandal.
yeah.
Hmm. I want to stick by my boy, mostly because I'm like, no, he's a serial killer. He's not an adulterer. He's got an honor of 20 or something.
He is from House Durnford, though. I don't think Edric knew about any of Perrin's many issues.
I don't think so either.
I don't think anyone knew. No.
And when you're standing next to Florence, I think it just kind of like.
Yeah, he kind of is a magnet for issues. Everything else looks great in comparison.
Yeah, it's kind of like, having a little light bulb next to a bigger light bulb. You just don't notice it as much.
Everyone sleeps with more people than I do, and it kind of blends together. I've slept with one person, and it is my wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Statistically, Edric is an anomaly in this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Edric, it's your go.
Excellent. I think at the beginning, I don't have any strategic goals to get to at the moment. I've talked to most of the dignitaries that I want to, so I would like to draw some cards.
Give her.
Let's do it. Is it 3 or 4?
Good question. You're still
I think it's
4.
I think it's 4. You're well over me, and I just got. Yeah, you're well over me, and I just unlocked 4. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I got all of these. I've got maybe dance. A lady asks to dance with you. Let me just show my dancing. My dancing is 2. Probably not that one.
Today is the day, Thomas, for woman number 2. You were just talking about how it's only been 1. I think today's the day. I kind of want to watch your Saxon wife rip your head off with her bare hands.
No. She will wrestle with the other woman as in the ways of the old time.
She's pagan. She's pagan. She might not have the same issues with that the Christian church does.
I have the issues with that the Christian church does. I think of all of these, I'm probably going to keep a man for all seasons. Throughout his life, even though he's not especially well read because he can't read, he's got a lot of very diverse knowledge about poetry, mathematics, science in some cases. I think I'm going to keep this. Whenever I roll a critical success or check a skill or trait, place a knowledge counter on this card. When I depart the feast, I gain +2 geniality for each time that occurs.
Okay. So nothing beyond that. Just put that aside.
Nothing beyond that at the moment.
Okay.
It's just the other guests going in the course of his long life of killing people, he's gained interesting knowledge.
You guys ever see a giant? I have.
Let me tell you about their society. Their economy is entirely based around stealing infants.
I had a buddy who, let me tell you, he had a goat following him around for weeks, and that goat he was pretty sure was the devil, and it might have been the son of the devil, but we aren't entirely certain about that. Oh, there he is! Hi, Florence!
Exactly.
All right, that brings us, speaking of
yes,
Florence, that brings us to Florence, and that's 1 geniality for you, right?
Yep, just 1 geniality.
All right. On to our guest from Cornwall.
It's time for everybody's favorite. Florence makes mistakes. Let's draw some cards.
Perfect. Stole Virgil's card.
Host passes by.
There you go. Oh no!
Oh! Oh my god. Has Robert got a crush on somebody? And he wants ladies' man advice from the knight that he hates?
You know what? Let's take up this sage advice.
Oh no, I know what this is going to be about. This is good. Okay. This is Earl Robert. Coming to say hi. It's like, Florence, could I speak to you for a moment? His voice, by the way, is officially deepening this year.
Yeah. I think of that, Florence would say uncharacteristically, "Of course, my lord. What advice may I offer?"
Well, I know you've been away, so you might not have heard the rumors, but one of my favorite knights has gone and gotten themselves in a bit of a bind. Seems they've been acting in unchaste ways. I've been advised by my seneschal to treat such a thing harshly, publicly, make a statement about it, but to me it seems, I hear that this is just the way of knights sometimes, and well, I thought perhaps, given your reputation, no offense, that perhaps you would have some experience with this in your youth.
None taken, my lord. You know, it was your father that gave all of us knights a very important mission. Do you know what that mission was?
I'm all ears. He sips from his
Create
wine.
more knights. Now, how does one create more knights? Well, your father wasn't so much concerned in the act as it were the final product. It's important that blood continues to flow. Houses continue to propagate and families continue to grow in that regard. There are some issues, of course, from a faith perspective. Some might see it as impure, but what could be more pure than love? Truly, there is nothing more pure in the world. It is a gift from God himself, and a gift we must cherish. So what you tell him, my young lord, is that you are the arbiter of justice in these lands. If in your perspective, this was not in fact an unholy act, but an act done of a heart, be it proper or improper, from the heart nonetheless, then surely his service should show that his heart is righteous and in the right place. To serve his lord, to serve his land, and to serve his people.
How can we be sure, Sir Florence, that it's his heart in the right place and not his sword?
Do you have faith in the man?
Most definitely.
Has he proven himself, time and time again?
Indeed so.
Then let the past speak for future experience. Reputation is everything among knights.
Right. I agree.
It's what will make you a good man one day.
He nods and he says, he goes to walk away and he stops and he looks at Florence and he says, you know, it's that same, to be truthful, Sir Florence, Baron Florence. It's the same suspicion I have of you. Your heart or your sword. And with that, he'll walk away. And it's clear he's talking about his mother in that case.
Yeah, I assumed as much.
Or in this case, which is probably a little bit beyond him, the political power of marrying the Dowager Earl or Earless Countess.
Right.
She was never titled with the title of Earless. So she would still be a countess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd still be the countess, yeah.
Is that even right?
As part of this,
What is the...
I think so.
Earl and Count are basically similar in terms of power. Like, we've
Yeah.
been calling her the Countess, because
Yeah.
she married a Count who became an Earl.
Yeah.
Is
I mean,
Earl...
the whole
Is
thing-
Earless
I'll
or
just
is
speak
it Countess?
English time.
Oh, female equivalent of an Earl is a Countess. So, okay. There we go. We got it right.
Okay.
We did it.
I don't know, it's all French. It's all
All French to me.
Hey,
Uh,
I love the
Sir
affection of
Florence is
little...
going to call upon his hospitality to treat with
I
the
love
young
the-
Earl.
Yeah, I suppose we should have done that before everything. But I'm sure it'll go well.
I want the affection of little cats.
You can't
Or
fumble
little
intrigue
cat.
anyways.
Oh, a 5? Come on!
Okay,
Come
It
on!
would have been great to crit, but
Anyone
That's
gonna
how
give
I
me a
feel.
reroll? Getting
I
recalls in the chat.
50-50
Oh.
chance on me getting a crit with the battle roll. I was rolling a 20 plus 10, and yet fucking Sigirius is one step ahead of me again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. I hate games. I hate all games.
It's fair. You do end up with 3 geniality, so
5, in fact.
5. Oh yeah, that's true.
Strong.
That was a big card.
Yeah.
Big card. Maybe Florence is earning his way back into the Earl's good graces.
That's probably a
One
step
bit
in
of
the right
helpful advice
direction.
at a time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think in Pendragon, the Great Pendragon campaign, there were earls and stuff, and then they're like, that's kind of Anglo-Saxon, so they changed it to count, but that's still, weird.
That's French.
Yeah, and that
It's French.
Yeah. So in short, we went with Count. In our game, he was Count Roderick until he was titled a special position of Earl by Uther, right? During the battle in Cornwall. So that's an aside. We'll get to Virgil. Virgil time.
Virgil! Okay. So I have a few things that I need to do here. My niece is here, and I would like to say hello to her. Robert is here, and I would like to talk to him about the soldiers that I sent to his lands. Robert is here. Earl Robert is here, and I love that little kid with all my heart. But I think I'm going to start round 1, take it slow, dip my toe in with some feast cards.
Sounds good. While we're doing that, Thomas, was this your old squire here? Who is this again?
Yes, he is.
Did he die in a battle? Did he die in the?
No, he did not.
Okay. Just making sure.
I don't remember.
Oh man, really?
Why do women leave me alone? Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
Hey, now that they know that you're into that kind of thing.
Who let her in here? There's a child present. Oh God, host card, please, for the love of God, host card. Oh,
Hey, there
thank
you go.
God.
Host, there you go. There you go.
Hey, 2 of them.
As well. Oh man. Honestly, though, that woman would stand no chance because I got a love and an amour that are both around the same level, and my chaste is high.
No, I cannot sleep with you. I love my wife and my mistress too much.
I love my wife, my mistress, and myself too much. All right, let's see. So regale the host. You are asked to entertain the high table with a story.
Yep. So
It's
I
an
think
orate check.
I think in this case specifically, Robert's like, no, you all have it wrong. Sir Virgil, tell them about the hunt.
Yes, Sir Virgil, tell us about the hunt.
Yeah, I'm not even reading the. Oh God, the courtesy is much better for me, but this one's better.
That is against other
do this one.
players if you do that one, so you could lose the card
Yeah.
entirely.
Yeah. Oh, my back. Okay. So, my ore rate is not great though. Actually, my ore rate is much better. That's right. I invested in it. Okay. Do I test my loyalty, Lord Passion again? No, I don't. I don't want to risk dropping it here. It's an 18, which my odds are good, but they're not perfect. My size doesn't help me here, does it, Bob?
Depends if you're telling tall tales.
Absolutely not. You know what I will do though, because this is the end of the night. I'm gonna get you all to click one more bonus card.
Oh, yippee!
You gotta trade one out.
Yeah. You can only keep 2, so you got to throw away one of them.
Oh, I thought
I'm gonna trade out my.
Unless you used it already, then you don't have to throw out any. But you only get like the card's like usable, like it's expendable. Once you use it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. That's sus. That's
I'm gonna
Volk,
trade out the second one.
and that's javelin.
I hope I don't get poisoned.
Hmm.
Actually, no. I'm gonna. No.
You know what? I've been rolling good.
Yeah, I'll
think-
throw out one.
I think I sink or swim on my own here.
Okay. Sink or swim on your own.
I believe in you.
I'm reading the critical success. I'm reading the critical success condition. I have never once in my life told a story so well that the person I told it to looked at me and went, "Oh, tell it to me again."
Yeah.
That's un.
You guys gotta hear this one. Listen to it. You gotta hear this story.
And
All
you
right,
hear it
that
one more
that
time.
one, that one, yeah. All right. I'm just rolling it flat. I'm not giving any bonuses. Here we go.
Let's
Great.
go. Crit.
No,
It's a fail.
No, it's a fail. It's a fail.
Oh, it didn't load on my end.
I think you know what? I think what happens here is Virgil's a little bit distracted with all of the other things that have been happening this
Mhm.
evening, all the looks that he's been giving. So I think when he tells it, he just his eyes keep like glancing over to other people talking about him as he's up there talking to the high table, and he goes, "Boy acted very admirably. He's hot-headed like his father, but he served well. He adapted to the situation, and I was very proud to serve with him. There's not much more than that. The boar was tasty."
Yeah. And Robert's like, not much more. Remember how close things were?
Oh, yes, they were
Sir Barr, you saw it, and he's like, I did, my lord. And it just stays at that, right? And he's just like annoyed. But there's no fumble, so there's not the big geniality hit. That might have been like the geniality hit might have been like, no, remember, like I had no one around me, and
You let me ride off the head, my own. Remember that?
Yeah. Bar definitely tells that story very differently than Virgil would.
yeah, I don't think he adds too much, though. He's not looking to make an enemy, and he's just like, let's just move on. So it's just kind of like left it at meh. All right. Well,
All right.
that is
one for the round and one for the card.
Yes.
Indeed. All right.
See, this is why I gotta bump up orate, man.
We haven't talked to you. The swords haven't talked in a while. Does anyone want to talk to each other out of the three of you?
I'd certainly be down for like a little powwow of the meeting of the minds, mostly to unsurprisingly talk strategy.
Virgil's been alienated from the group largely, so if he's invited, he'll come, but he's not making attempts.
Lawrence would speak to Edric. Also, kind of like the fuck's up with him? What's Virgil being weird?
I don't know. I think he's upset about something that I did to save my own life, and he expected me to suicidally die instead of making a very cheap deal. Or he's upset because his wife is glaring at him with eyes sharp enough to pierce through him.
I don't think my wife is even here.
Oh, she's here.
Oh, she's here. Oh, she is here.
Oh, she's here.
No. She
dressed herself as one of the waiting staff, and she is handling the drinks.
Oh no.
But I think Edric will say, Sir Florence, it is good to see you well. Especially with Wells itself being contentious these days.
Oh, good to see you as well, my friend. Yes, had a bit of that contention myself. As he kind of presses on one of the wounds that or like taps on his shoulder and goes. Anyway, how have things been here? Well, I hope.
Well enough. I will admit I have seen some violence at the hands of creatures from the forests, but fortunately I escaped with my life victorious and with the Countess safe as well. We have reclaimed the Wearside 100. For now, at least.
I see. Well, that is good news indeed. He's gonna raise his drink.
I will say that there are matters of quite a bit of concern, not just from the Saxons, but indeed from our erstwhile neighbors. He will nod at Florence and also, direct with his goblet, which you will note he has not drunk from, as is his wont, towards Queen Elabelle, and will say, the topic on many people's lips, be it of the townspeople or of strategist, is what is to be next for the great kings.
Well, who can say? I'm sure a conflict in Somerset is not exactly out of the question.
I would say that as well. Adding to
You
that...
didn't hear it from me,
Oh?
but knights of Nantilliad have been spotted within those lands.
Is that the... he gestures towards the wounds.
He nods. Yes. Not the most
see.
friendliest.
I can imagine. I will say that we personally are also quite worried about other neighbors. Saxon activity has been spotted near the borders, and yet moving away from it. I am always ill at ease when I do not directly know my enemy's movements, so of course I assume the worst. But I do not know when their next attack will strike. We dealt them a crushing blow last time, but it does not take long for the Saxons to lick their wounds, especially because every child above the age of 12 is handed a battle axe.
Yes, well, I can promise you that the Saxons are certainly no friend to Cornwall. Not at the moment, at least. As he kind of looks around.
Indeed. And I think that will spark something in Edric, and Edric will say, should that change to the best of your awareness, I would consider it a great favor if I could be informed.
Well, I would never do something so traitorous. But perhaps a missive to a friend is not out of line.
Certainly.
Who knows? Maybe you'll see a good performance in the coming days.
Exactly. We are both quite good patrons of the arts.
Yes.
There's like 5 people in Britain as a whole who have spy networks, and like 3 of them are in this room.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing. Seems the Roman had came by my current place of residence while I was away, chasing down some rumors I may or may not have spread.
Very cunning of you. Every time that man's name appears, not only does my blood boil, but my mind whirls with confusion. He was old when we were young. What keeps him alive now, if not pure raw hate, and a determination to be a thorn in our side?
I have half a mind to believe he's some sort of revenant come back from the dead.
That would track. And indeed, like, Edric, like, seems to, like, visibly be considering it.
Florence goes, I meant that as a joke, my friend. I don't really think that. Right?
You never know. We fight forces beyond our comprehension, in addition to the forces we can comprehend all too well. Men and monsters walk these lands.
Yes, well, in either case, I have spoken to a mutual friend of ours about it.
Very good. I have hopes, and indeed faith in his efficacy in dealing with threats. It is good that we are all doing well, such as we are. from my own assets, I've been told that there has been no sign of the Winter Prince within the lands of Somerset. I'm led to believe that means he is elsewhere and safe for now.
Are you a big fan of lions?
Never met one.
Neither have I, but I've heard story of a man who has a lion as his banner. Quite odd, isn't it?
A little strange indeed, considering only tales of them reach these lands. I
It's true.
assume this is a mere curiosity.
Of course. I heard he had, Oh, he had a guest of some sort, but I don't quite remember the name.
Most interesting. Out of character. Who's this guy?
Leo de Grants.
That makes sense.
Heraldry.
Oh, actually, yeah, Heraldry.
That's a great question.
Yes, he's like, yes. Who is this again?
Yes,
Who is that
exactly.
guy? I don't know.
Lion with the heraldry. Let us assume, perhaps for the sake of brevity, that my heraldric education has been more locally focused as of late.
The King Leo de Grants.
Understood. Thank you, my friend. This lifts a great weight off my shoulders. One of them, at least.
Well, it's not over yet. The Roman seeks him. I do not think he
Then-
is far from his trail.
Then let us hope the black dog finds it first
Um,
and goes for the throat.
Thomas, roll me a d20 real quick.
Yay! 2.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for what I'm supposed to be doing too. Okay. Make a 20 roll. Mark d20 roll.
Does feel like one of these conversations in like a spy game or something you're listening into.
Indeed.
What are these names? What do they mean?
The lights, the numbers, Jackson. Okay, so we got a 2 and a 19. So we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. So maybe that's
very good or very bad.
Exactly. Alternatively, the door bursts down and a regular spearman and a Wotan berserker appear.
Mm-hmm. We see a man trip into view.
Is Bob muted or was I just summoned?
I think Bob was muted.
What?
Yeah.
Summoned?
What about
Were you
me
speaking?
muted? Nope.
No, he was rolling dice.
Oh, he's rolling dice. Okay, I was like, it went dead, and I was pretty sure I wasn't mentioned, but I was like, it was just long enough a pause that I was like, oh god, I was looking at my phone. Did I miss something?
Nothing yet.
Okay. I'll get an intrigue roll from the two of you.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Success, but a low one.
Would my hospitality pass include in this one?
I don't think so. It's between rounds.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. 8. Success.
If we get outmaneuvered by Idnerth. Hey!
Okay. Yeah, I think as the two of you are talking and Florence says Leo de Grants out loud, you just see it's a younger knight I think Edric, you recognize him as someone you recruited into the ranks of the household knights recently, for Salisbury. He's actually been recruited into Robert's Knights as a young knight. Fought well in the Battle of Salisbury. There's just something about the timing in which he got up and passed the two of you, or like got up right after that name was said, and started to walk out of the feast.
Indeed. I think my suspicious is 14. I'm probably not going to roll that. I think Edric's going to see that Florence noted that as well, and he will say, I will see what needs to be done in regards to this.
I concur. Let me know if you need any aid.
Of course.
Your lordship. You would kind of like do like a bow before he turns around and walks off.
Baron Florence. And I think, even if it might mean missing a round of a feast, I think Edric will see what this guy is up to.
Okay.
Back and down.
All right, we will do that in order proper. So we go to Edric for round 2, rather. You exit the feast. He is, well, let's see here. We'll give you, I think, the test we're looking for here. What is your goal? Like, what is your primary goal? So I need like one statement. Above all, is it secrecy? Is it chasing down and confronting? Like, what is your primary goal?
It's secrecy. I want to see what he's doing, and I want to not be noticed while doing it, or I want my motives to be disguised. I want to see what he's up to. If I can, stop it. If not, then identifying is best.
Okay. I will give you 2 rolls here. You're not going to like the second. The first is intrigue, because you're playing the role of spying. The second role is going to be a dex roll.
I knew it.
Oh, no!
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Intrigue first. 17 of 20. That's good.
Now the heart.
I would like to... Here's the thing. There's no real passions which I feel would apply in this case. I might try to invoke my love of the Sword of Victory, specifically because it's involving our plans. But this isn't in relation to our Lord technically. My honor doesn't exactly dictate that I creep around like this. I think I would like to invoke my love of the Sword of Victory.
What is your primary goal here? Why are you chasing this down? What is your main reason?
To see if this person is acting as a spy in some case within Salisbury, to root them out, or to stop him from giving information that's dear to us to other people.
Okay. Is there a motive? Is there something you're protecting?
Probably the Winter Prince, more specifically.
Okay.
Like, more immediately. Like, if he's a spy, that's bad for us all, but, like, this pertains to...
Roll 3d6.
Let's do it. 13.
You can put homage Winter Prince or homage Pendragon, whatever way you see it.
Oh, very nice. It's been a long time since I've had this. Shall I invoke that instead? Because I feel that is appropriate.
Follow your heart, Thomas. Or your passions.
Makes sense.
Indeed. I shall.
I did think it was funny if Bob was like,
Failure.
it's a new passion. No, you can't roll it.
Indeed.
It's not relevant.
Failure,
right.
but it doesn't matter too much. I believe.
Leave!
I believe in the heart of the cards. That is a
No.
failure. You know what? If I had succeeded on my passion roll,
a crit.
it would have been a crit.
Oh no, that's the worst.
That's unlucky. Yeah.
Unlucky friend, indeed.
That's the thing. Alas. But yes, that is an expected fail on the dexterity roll. He has been too long a soldier and his legs hurt. But a pretty high success on his intrigue. He knows what's up.
Okay. We're gonna say he's like not the most in shape guy. Like he's strong, but he's not. Actually, it might not be. No, he's looking a little bit more like a courtesy knight from given his stuff. So, you follow him towards the stables. He's got quite a bit of a distance on you. I imagine his movement rate's better than yours at this point.
Ow.
Yeah. It's a long, it was easy enough to trail him through the court, but once you get to like that long friggin' gap between the actual hall and the stables, it feels like forever, and you feel like you lose so much ground. There's a point where he looks back and you see him speed up even more.
Will not evade me. Edric can only move in two ways. One, by marching. Two, during footwork in swordplay.
All right. Another round. You are pursuing this guy. He is going to contest you with his dex, and if he should beat you, he will get away.
Indeed.
Ooh.
So just dex?
Yep.
Let's do this. Failure, and a pretty big one.
Oh, yeah, higher failure.
Yeah.
Nah.
By the time you get there, you see him on horse on round C already, and he's moving quick. And as you, what is your immediate response? Do you call for the guards? Like, are you calling for?
I think so. He probably calls for the guards or gets on horse himself and very much in the spirit of the time, guards, seize him.
Yeah.
Yes, we gotta seize him in.
Yeah.
Seize him.
Oh,
someone did offer you advantage. Let's see if that changes the matter.
Oh, indeed.
Ooh.
Thank you kindly, Zai Shadow Ninja. This, just for the dex, I'll be doing my best, unless I can try to invoke another passion, which I might try, Love of Sword of Victory in this case.
No, a failure is for the round.
Fair enough.
Not
All right,
an
let's do this.
advantage. You would have had to call it before you rolled, I think.
Very good point. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Higher success!
All right. You're going
God.
You're going to reach him. Like, he is on horse as you are reaching the stables. So you've reached him now. You can block his path, but you also have a man on a round C, and you're on foot. Also, should remind you, neither of you was wearing armor.
Indeed.
Eat shit, pull him off his horse.
Halt, Idneth.
He has a look of sorrow on his face, and he says, "I'm truly sorry for this." And with that, he's going to try to trample you, or rather force you to either get the hell out of the way or be trampled as he rides through.
We're at the stables. That's fine. I'm gonna get out of his way and on a horse.
Okay. You're gonna try to pursue from there.
Punch his horse in the face.
You knock out his horse. Body slam. Virgil body slam on the horse.
I imagine it in Final Fantasy or
Arcade
whatever it is,
horse.
where you like suplex the train. No, I think with him on a horse and me on foot, there's not really much I can do. My strength isn't terrible, but it's not phenomenal. My horsemanship is a little bit better.
Okay. With a positive dex, I will allow you to simply sidestep, which would normally be a dex roll, but I don't think he's really trying to hit you. He's trying to get past you.
I will sidestep.
Okay, and then you're going to try and pursue?
Yes.
Okay.
As he's doing that, voice echoing across the night, what is the price of a knight of Salisbury's loyalty these days?
Okay. With that, we go to Florence for round 2.
Back to the party.
Indeed.
Florence is actually going to approach the Earl Robert, or attempt to, at least in this case. He's going to attempt to approach the high table.
All right. Should be easy enough. Our rules for that were usually that you had to roll something in advance to kind of do so, either intrigue or courtesy, to get up there.
Yeah, to be able to get up to the table.
Yeah.
Florence will do courtesy. Here we go. And that's courtesy plus his geniality, so +5.
Okay.
18 on 20.
You make it up well enough?
Alright. Does it take me the round to get up there, or is it...
Nope. It's just a test.
Alright, in that case, he approaches the Earl and everyone else at the high table and would say, Your Grace, I wonder if I might have but a moment of your time.
He nods to you and says, of course, Sir Florence. Is this a private conversation?
No, I think it is fine if it is one for the table. But it is a question I pose to you, solely, Your Grace. I wonder if you might be available to come to a small dinner I wish to host for you and your family, between your family and mine. See, there was a few topics I would like to discuss, and, in a way, reach out to you. I know our previous conversations may have ended in a not so well status on my behalf. So I wish to reach across and build a bridge from your family to mine.
Okay, and Rufus will interject and say, is this at... This is, of course... Oh, Rufus doesn't have a link, but he says, this is in Idmiston, Sir Florence?
Of course. Unless, of course, there is a better place that the Earl would like to suggest.
The Earl goes to talk, and then his uncle interrupts and says, just confirming that the Lord would not have to travel to Cornwall at this time. And Robert kind of glares at him like, I know what I'm doing. Like, there's that look of frustration.
Mm-hmm. No.
He says,
I think with that, Florence would sternly say, my apologies, Sir Reference, but my question was for the Earl.
Robert says, of course we'll join you for a feast. I would, of course, expect my uncle and my mother to be present. And if you'd have them, my sister and her new lord husband.
It would be my honor.
And Sir Virgil.
Yeah. As you so desire, my lord. He was like, of course. Okay, alright.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
that'd be brilliant. Yes, sure.
All right. That was a courtesy roll. We discounted your courtesy roll for that. I didn't have you re-roll anything because I don't think they're concerned with motive for something as simple as a feast. This will, of course, in Book of Feast, you can look up what you'll probably need a 50-person feast given what's going on. So you can look up the cost for one in Book of Feast, and we will play that out. And for whatever reason, we'll have Edric be there, or Constantine, or someone that...
We'll have Edric be there.
Yeah.
Like, Florence would invite anyone that he likes and thinks would be a good to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yay. I've never
All the
been called
important
good
people.
for the atmosphere before.
Yeah, so at least
I'm flattered.
people Florence likes. Yeah.
These people Florence like. He does have a special motive for it, but I talk about that later off stream.
I think at this point the Earl already suspects that because we've established his suspicions towards Florence, but it doesn't stop someone from going to a free, to a feast. There's still the
free meal, absolutely.
Yeah, and the idea of like it's like honoring someone's request too. So
yeah.
All right, that brings us to Virgil for round 2.
Virgil's turn to do Virgil things. Okay, next thing. I want maximum geniality for interacting with Sir Robert. So I would like to go and talk to my niece, Lady Siri.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I have been allowed to see her, because I don't think she's the one that I was allowed to keep.
She is. You had a brief interaction with her, I think at Easter.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
But she is out in full again. Yeah. Okay. Wait. That's Perrin and Bronwyn's daughter.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is their second born. No.
Mhm.
Yes? Yeah.
Yeah, because she's not the heir. Yeah.
No. She's their third born.
Third one.
It's Jaren, then Perseus, then Ciri. First daughter, though.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil makes his way up and smiles at her a little bit wrong. He goes, Lady Ciri, it's good
Uncle?
to see you. I imagine that it's nice to get off of the estate once in a while.
Indeed. Sarum is very wonderful.
Your brother, Jaren, he's going to be knighted in just a few years. Durnford Manor will revert back to his control. I know Lady Bronwyn has been keeping you away from your home for some time.
Mm. Berwick St. James is... It's a home I've known more than Durnford in my life. Does it sting a bit for Virgil? Like, is that
Yes,
kind of like...
it does. It absolutely does.
Yeah.
I think that, and it's notable on him too. That's a shame. I won't pretend to have been very close to my siblings, but I remember catching frogs with my cousins in the river there, the creek. It was a good place. Is a good place. So much of my time has been spent at devices lately. I was considering if not only in name, relinquishing control of it back to Lady Bronwyn before Jaren comes of age. I have my own foundations now.
Congratulations on the
And I know-
barony, she says.
Thank you. My point is, though I am ineloquently reaching it, Lady Bronwyn first left because she was afraid that I would abuse my authority as your protector. It pains me the parent's family doesn't get to know his home. So, if it would encourage you to come and stay there once again, I will ensure that Lady Bronwyn has control of it until Jaren comes of age to make his own decisions.
She looks back kind of confused on what to say, and she's like, would you Would you like me to suggest this with Mother?
I would. And I think you should pitch it as if it was your idea. If that would so flatter you, or intrigue you. You're going to be a woman who's thrust into many courts and many places. I think it's wise for you to get a head start on learning how to navigate them.
Very well. Lady Sarah de Newton has been most kind at teaching me the ways of courtesies.
Your brother's named after their young lord, wherever he may be.
Wherever he may be? Is he missing?
I'm not sure. I was never particularly close to Sir Jaren, but I've heard the stories. He got married off somewhere in Humble Creek-ish, I think. Maybe Hartford. Either way, I hear that he goes missing every once in a while, returns covered in blood. Say.
Sir Virgil,
So true.
Uncle, I have a question for you.
By all means. Any opportunity to engage with my family.
Very well. She hesitates, and she says, when I was a younger girl, my mom would sometimes take us to the Abbey, and we'd visit with a lady there. Some of the other girls would say that that lady was the Dowager Queen. She had a girl much older than me, with raven hair. She told me one time that my father was alive. Is that... I know it sounds foolish, but is that possible?
I don't know, girl. I believe I've seen many things in my career that I would once have called impossible. I don't... you know what? I think I'm going to test honor here, not to impassion a roll, but to see what... Or actually...
You go honest, deceitful if you'd rather.
That's what I think, actually, here. Okay. And you're saying we don't roll both now?
Not anymore. If you pass the first, you don't even roll the second. But if you fail the first, then you roll the second. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Virgil, I think, crouches down a little bit. I mean, she's not that much. He's pretty big, so he crouches down and goes. There are many things that are spoken, and there are many things that are truthful, even if they bear no truth in them. I think that if, for some reason, your father was alive, if that were true, I think he would have to have a very good reason not to come back to you. I was not very close with Perrin, but one thing was apparent to me more than anything else, and it was that he loved you dearly. I think only death or something like it would keep him from you. Something just as powerful. If you wish to discuss it more than that, this is not the place. Make arrangements. I would be happy to have you at Devices.
She gives a nod. You can see a look of hope in her eyes, though. Like you just not completely dismissing it. Anything short of dismissing it is hope for her. So she holds on to that.
I think immediately Virgil's tummy is filled with uncomfortable regret.
Yeah.
Like he was compelled to be honest with her in that moment. He just could not be dishonest with her, but immediately thinks that was the wrong call.
Okay. I'm very comfortable in making honest your role for this round, if you're cool with that. As
Sure.
much as we didn't
I'm
call that as the stakes. Like
No, I like that. I like that.
So you can tick that, and that will get you 2 geniality.
It's been ages since I've ticked honest for any of my characters. Oh no, I've ticked honest already this year. Never mind.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I know, shocking, right?
You know what we can do too? We can, when that's ticked, we can hand that over to another. Well, I will accept generous. I think would be
Deceitful. Oh, all right. That's
generous. And
generous
then
is also ticked.
Is merciful ticked?
Merciful is absolutely not ticked. It's
Yeah.
Virgil. Come on, Bob.
I think it's the rare time we're gonna tick merciful for him.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Because you could have just been callous and been like, no. Yeah. Okay.
Are you a fool, girl? Do you want your whole family killed for treason? Why are you crying?
Why are you crying?
I was thinking about the guy with like
There's
Dex
water coming out of your eyes.
Dex 11 in a chase with Edric, and I couldn't help but think of the Rascal episode of Seinfeld where they're both it's like there we go. Okay. Speaking of which, we go back to the chase. Now it's a horse chase. Why don't you give me an orate roll to begin, Edric? Let's see how many men you manage to muster.
Let's do it. I think this time I would like to try and impassion with love sort of victory.
Okay.
Success.
Success.
Great. That is a success, and it would have succeeded anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you managed to get 9 other riders, but they're going to be a round or 2 behind you, obviously, because they have to get to the stables and mount up. No one in the garrison is on horse.
Exactly.
I guess temporarily we
and
could change the music up.
Yeah. Indeed. It's going from like flute music and like strumming lyres to da-da-da-da-da-da. I think, yeah, like Edric is on horse, but he's not wearing armor, and like up to your discretion, he probably doesn't have a weapon either. He didn't expect to be in a chase. But he just needs to keep line of sight, and he would like to speak words to him as he's catching up to him.
Okay. When you're ready, you can make a horsemanship roll against him.
Let's do it. Okay. Come on, Space Jesus. Success, but not a high one.
He managed to keep a distance, a slight gain, but nothing significant. You can tell he's heading south, south and slightly west.
Towards the direction of Cornwall and other Roman-related polities.
Mm-hmm.
I think as he's riding, calling out, like loudly above the hoofbeats, is Edric saying, "Stop your horse, Idneth!" If you remain, I will ensure that you are rewarded. And if you do not, I will ensure you are made a corpse. There are few places on this island that I cannot reach. You are no exception.
He looks back nervously, but he keeps going. Yeah.
If he fears someone more than Edric, he's mistaken.
All right. Horsemanship again, sir.
Let's do it. This time no longer with passion?
No, you're impassioned for the scene. So is he.
Delightful. Let's do it. 9 over 20. Oh.
This, he officially makes some considerable distance on you at this point. You're still in pursuit. Are you on a charger or on a round C?
I think if he had a choice, it would be a charger.
Okay. What you're finding is that he's incredibly good at dipping out of terrain that the round C's better at than the charger.
Indeed.
And this is working in his advantage as he goes through across the terrain. So we will continue. This won't be too long, but we're going to continue to press this.
Indeed. One of these days I will roll above a 10. It's not this day.
Today is not this day. He's keeping his distance.
Not the day.
Yeah. All right, and we continue.
12. Oh, that's a crit on his part.
You actually lose him in the brush for a while, and by the time you catch sight of him again, he's long gone. He's at the edge of the horizon. You can tell he's clearly making his way for Dorset, though.
Dorset.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think...
If you
If there's
recall,
no way
you
to
remember
catch-
seeing Siagris's men once upon a time when you brought
Yes.
Merlin down to Dorset. You saw
He's
Siagris's camp there. Yeah.
And indeed, we ransacked it and killed a bunch of them. I think Edric, as his horse comes to a stop, seeing him further than he can chase, he snarls and says... as the men catch up to him, he will say, Sir Idnerth is now a traitor towards Salisbury. Find his holdings. Ensure everything that you can is rounded up. For now, guard to ensure that he does not come back for it.
All right. And with that, we'll still give you effectively like 10 glory for going after the spy.
Indeed.
That was pretty sick, especially for an old man who needs a cane to hobble around.
Yeah.
I don't need a cane. It's faster if I use a cane, and I don't.
I don't need a cane, okay? I choose to use a cane. Shut up.
Exactly. But yes, thank you kindly.
Yeah, and make a note of his name as well, the traitor.
Yes.
Okay, and that brings us to the last two actions of tonight. We go to Florence next, and then to Virgil.
All right. Florence is going to end his night. Let's do some intriguey things. He wants to find out who Eliabelle has been speaking to without her knowing.
Okay.
Asking around to see what she's been up to. Eliabelle. Eliabelle?
Okay.
Intrigue. Plus, what is that? 7?
That's a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Oh, a low roll. 15 on 20.
Okay. She has been treating a lot with Ellen. and Rofus. And
Who's the first one?
Ellen, Countess.
Ellen, yeah.
Rofus, and Elaine, actually.
Oh, interesting.
So asking around, it seems that her goal is to try and bring some sort of truce to Cornwall and Cambria under Escavalon, under an Intelliad.
Right, and they're using like Salisbury as a middleman, intermediate.
Mm-hmm. It's unclear with the 15 whether she's directly doing this on behalf of her father, or if this is, more her own motivation.
Yeah. All right.
You know, her husband's one of the soldiers in Summerland right now. One of the generals in Summerland.
Yeah, her husband is the petty king.
Yes. Yep.
I want to say starts with an M.
Yeah,
Not Menelaus.
No, it's one of those though. I have like 3 of them, and
Achilles.
I've been getting them wrong more often. Meliodas. Yeah.
Meliodas, that's right.
And of course, her son Tristram is present with her still here.
Yeah, Tristram, the boy, who I'm sure will not be relevant at any point in the future.
Exactly.
Why would he be? He's just some twerp.
Exactly. Let's see. Oh, that was the wrong one. I'll see if there's anything else here. Sweeten the pot. Yeah, I think
101 dogs.
I think that's pretty much what you get, is that there seems to be, Eliabelle seems to understand perhaps more than Mark, from what you've gathered, and maybe even more than her own father, that Cornwall has no claim on Logris. And Cornwall in what it holds has claim, and it is a rightful claim to all of... Now Logris can contest the Duchy of Cornwall, but they aren't unrightfully ruling that. Right now, occupying Summerland is unrightful rule, technically.
Yeah, they don't actually have any claim to the territory.
Nothing related. The very south of it, a little bit, with the Durotridge or whatever, their actual tribal peoples have a little bit to, like, up till about Wells, but beyond Wells, they would have no claim. Those are not the lands of their tribal peoples, nor the lands of their royal, like, redrawings and such. So,
yeah.
All right, and that's your round. That will net you 2 more. You got some of this information probably from Lady Violet.
Yeah.
And then a little bit from Lady Sarah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, we go to Virgil next.
Virgil's turn for Virgil things. I love Virgil turn. Okay. All right, I've got some geniality. I've got a man to recruit. I'm going to make my move on Sir Robert, and I'm going to leverage my aid to him in helping clear out the forest. This is both, clearing out that forest near him, as both an in to talk to him and discuss him allying with Virgil.
Okay.
I think Virgil will just kind of make his way right over. There's like a couple of knights snicker at him as he walks by, based on the, the gossip mill, the accurate gossip mill, and he'll stand in front of Robert's table and goes, "Might I have a moment, Sir Robert?"
Sir Virgil, good to see you. Of course.
Indeed. We haven't had much opportunity to speak this year. I trust that my men are serving helpful.
Indeed. I appreciate your support and the gift of horses.
Of course. I know a knight as renowned and capable as you has no need of what I have to offer, but I have found over my lifetime that every little bit helps.
I only do my part as steward of Mir until such a time as my heir or my liege has been found and returned to his proper seat in the marches.
We pray every day for his ransom letter to arrive. But until then, I wanted to discuss something with you as his regent for the time being.
He nods.
I'm sure you're well aware of the hounds.
Indeed. They've proven quite effective in Salisbury's reunification.
Aye. They've also served well as soldiers defending its honor from invaders and from spies. That doesn't mean that they haven't gone without scandal, though. That scandal was costly to their reputation. They are a force that should be feared in Salisbury. But I worry that right now they lack legitimacy.
Hmm. And do you mean to legitimize them?
I would like to. Salisbury's in a very precarious situation right now. Cornwall's at our doorstep. I'm doing all that I can, dumping most of my resources into preparing for it. But there's no doubt that there is tension. We're still recovering from our last conflict. If Cornwall were to come this year, we would not be ready.
I would agree. Our readiness for an attack from the west is evident by the continued harrying of the forces in that forest.
As I have taken responsibility for our northwestern border, I find that you are the most obvious person for me to become close with. If they were to attack, they would come through Mir, or they would come through devices.
I can't disagree with that. Though I think Mir would be the much easier route for them.
I am attempting to make devices into a tempting poisoned treat, for lack of a better term. Bait, I suppose. I'm hoping that the King of Cornwall will see it as such a tempting target that he will walk right into a waiting maw. I would like to offer similar support to Mir. I'm not sure I can afford to put as much resources into it, but I have secured a master siege master who has proven to be breathtaking, earnestly.
What would this little coalition of ours do, Sir Virgil?
I think that you and I are positioned to be some of the finest war heroes that Salisbury has ever seen. I'd like to protect my home and the people in it. What I ask of you is that you stand by my side for it. The hounds right now, for all the good they do, are seen as little more than thugs and ruffians. Maybe that's not far off. But if there was a well-respected and renowned knight who believed in what they could bring and offer Salisbury, what I and what I have to offer could bring it together. Then perhaps they could do more good than they do now.
He motions over to below the salt, and you see that a squire is feeding one of the dogs and laughing with the dog, and he's like rubbing the dog's head. And he says, "Noble creatures." Or no, he doesn't say that. Sorry, that's exactly opposite. he says, "Loyal creatures, aren't they?
Yes.
But hardly noble."
So loyal. No. There's always been this obsession with nobility. I think perhaps I created the hounds because we needed good, loyal hounds. Ones willing to forsake a little bit of nobility to keep our people safe. I wouldn't ask that you do anything that would leave you uncomfortable. Not extremely so. In fact, I would hope that your discipline would rub off on them, either intentionally or unintentionally. A master of hounds, if you will.
If your proposal for this coalition is to defend the borders of Salisbury, I feel we have very few foes that would stand in our way of such, within our own borders at least. Such times have been set aside thanks to the matters of the Marshals Tournament and the recent unity of defending our lands against the Wessex. I assume this proposal goes beyond such things.
Yes. As all things do. We have yet to have a great victory that was not followed by another tragedy. Salisbury loses more and more knights every year. A strong Salisbury is necessary to keep that from becoming our end. I will not let Salisbury become another Saxon shore.
I am but a regent and a steward, but you have my interest.
It's a start. I would love to come and visit your home sometime, that which you manage. Perhaps you can come to Devices and take a look at what I've done there. And we can talk further.
I would be glad to hear, or he says, I would be glad to see Sir Helifer's work. I've heard a great deal about it.
He is marvelous in ways that I can't even comprehend most days.
Then let us make arrangements. And with that, I think did we get you to roll anything or no?
No, I have not rolled.
Why don't
What
we
would you
start
like
with
me to roll?
Yeah, I think this one's intrigue or diplomacy. I'll accept either.
They will do intrigue. I am going to impassion on this one. It is very important. Oh no, I have geniality. Yes.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
You have 4, I think,
four,
right?
I believe.
Okay.
Or
let's see.
geniality.
That would give me a 17. What do you think? Do I risk it? Do I go for an impassion?
17 are good odds, but the more you think of them as good odds, the more it's going to bite you.
If you do succeed, you get a guaranteed
what's your-
success. If you
What's your
succeed in passion.
what's your hospitality?
15?
You can't melancholy
There's no
across
risk.
that. Well, there's
Unless
still a
you-
20. There's still a 20.
Unless you
But a 20 will screw you regardless of anything you do right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do hospitality. We'll do it. That's a
Hey,
success.
nice. Then you got it.
see how well he got it.
Intrigue. Plus
Just good luck on the
5,
crit.
plus 4. That's plus 9 total. Here we go. Wow.
How did
the amount of ones I've rolled today. I mean, I'll take them
Yeah.
because they're passes, but also, man, I could
Oh,
use
yeah,
crit
yeah.
today.
All right. All right. By the way, I
Also, sorry.
did lower the cost of advantage by 2,000 now, just so folks know.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So folks
Very
know
nice.
if anybody wants Virgil to fumble or crit.
can't fumble off disadvantage. It's not a reroll. It's a fumble or it's an advantage.
Sir Robert, sorry, but I've got allergies. Virgil's extra nasally today.
Okay. Well, I mean that does it by itself. So we will we'll give you the 2. On that note,
Yes.
the other thing I was going to mention is it becomes common knowledge over the course of the early part of the winter that the castle of Greatbridge has been reclaimed by an Intelliad, and King Cadwy sits there with his garrison once more. The city of Bath remains under Cornwall, and
What?
Cornwall still
I
holds
just won't go
about
away.
Cornwall holds about 60-70% of Summerlin still, but part of specifically the northwest primarily has been liberated, whatever way you want to put it. It doesn't seem that Nintelli is holding the spots. He seems to be recovering and handing them back to the Somerset people as place of refuge. And with that, guys, we actually get to exit 506. We're in 507. It'll be winter phase in between games. But I did want to talk to you guys about schedules. So I think I'm good for next week. It's going to hurt because I'm going to be driving for 8 hours on Saturday, coming back from Vancouver, and then we'll hit game, but I'll probably be tired that night. And then I'm assuming we'll be off for the 20th for Easter. Does that make sense for you guys?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I guess
we don't want you to run if it's gonna hurt you to do so.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Of course,
so
we love Pendragon.
maybe
but-
that question's more for Liam. Do you have plans on Easter? Because it's pretty late for me. Like even if we were to start a little bit later, yeah. Like, should we bother or should we
no.
call her off?
I don't. I if I ever have Easter plans, they're morning plans. So and
Yeah.
I usually, it's,
Mine might have a
it'll
dinner.
be-
I might have a dinner, but it'd be done well before we were to play. So maybe we won't
Yeah,
take any
I'm-
breaks.
I'll be groovy, whatever's best. So
Cool. All right, guys, 507. We are definitely getting to the end arc of this exciting time of Anarchy, and we're also getting way past our normal time of closing. So why don't we quickly do some outros, and then we can go ahead and call her a night. We'll start with Thomas.
Hello and goodbye. I've been playing Marshal Edric of Salisbury. he is a knight of Winterborn Stoke and also the Castellan. No, the Baron of Vagon. That's me. He's very old. He can't move very well, but he can murder a bunch.
Indeed. This guy, Robert's in a worse position than you guys because his lord's apparently missing and not dead. So even if Robert wanted to help him out, he can't. It takes a king. Florence, Mark, tell us about you. Give us your outro.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was checking out our handy dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. Lots of fun things on there, such as memes and shit posting, as well as notifications on whenever we go live, as well as new projects we are always working on. For example, I do my own stuff on my own channel, The Cat's Meow Show, on Twitch and on YouTube. Come check us out. Currently, I'm running 2 vampire games. One is going to have its epilogue tomorrow, which is the final episode for that chapter. And then I also do House of Tremere with some familiar faces, including Bob on it. And that runs Wednesdays at 8 p.m. EST. So come join us. Join us for the fun. It may actually be 9 p.m. EST, but no, I think it's 8 p.m. EST. Whichever it is, come join us. It's on my schedule. Click on my channel. Give us a like, follow, whatever. Also, give us a like and a follow here, wherever you're watching. That's me.
Awesome. Liam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I played Baron Virgil, the Devices, a legendary knight of Salisbury. I've got maybe half the glory of everybody else here. I once again, I had a wonderful time. It's really interesting to see the trajectory of Virgil's character as he has slowly grown more into a tactically minded person rather than just a brute on the brute squad. I also have something to plug. A couple of our channel friends do a podcast together called On with the Motley. It's a show where we take a subject that we're familiar with and break it down dramatically or comically to a friend of ours or friends of ours who aren't familiar with that thing. So our first episode is on Doctor Doom. Our second episode is on a bunch of Greek mythological sagas. And then our most recent episode is on Star Wars: The Old Republic, specifically some of the lore building up to Knights of the Old Republic, the game. So, very cool stuff. Please come check it out. It's a great show, and we got great people on it.
Excellent. All right. I'll try to be pretty quick, but I'm going to go over a smattering of things just to announce them and such. So first off, we play Pendragon on Sundays here. You were here. This is the Sunday game. We have Tuesdays in Summerland, which we heard that name a lot this session, and Fridays in King Nantiliad's lands, which we heard also a lot today. If it's not clear towards the end of Anarchy, all this stuff is smooshing together in a really interesting way. Encourage anyone who's interested to check out those games as they connect together, because it's been a lot of fun to participate in. Outside of that, I have my YouTube channel. Encourage you to come over there and take a look, because there's certain things that aren't actual plays. Anything I don't do in the actual play space, I put there because it just makes more sense. It's not live. I have TTRPG talks. In April, I will be interviewing Sandy Peterson, the creator of Call of Cthulhu. And in May,
so exciting.
I know, right? I'm super looking forward to that. Also found out he was a lead designer of Doom and Quake, the games, the video games. Yeah. So that'll be kind of fun to gloss over. I know we probably won't get too deep in on that in TTRPG talks. I also have David Larkins in May. David is the line editor for Chaosium's Pendragon line. So super, obviously we might like Pendragon a little bit over on this server, so that'll be a lot of fun. And we're continuing to go through in that space monthly is the cadence for that, and meet with TTRPG designers and talk philosophy and their path and how they got started and where they're going. Finally, one last kind of plug. We're doing a whole number of other expansions here as we move into Boy King, which is the next era of game. Maybe it won't be Boy King, depends on what happens with everybody. A spy just got away, so we'll see. But as we move into the next era of game, we will be expanding and taking breaks. Unfortunately, AP Gaming Reels continuation of Gentlemen of the List will be canceled, mostly because the timing didn't work. So we'll be saying goodbye to that show, as sucky as it is to say goodbye to it. And thanks, AP, if you watch this, we really appreciate you running, and we totally understand that you can't be a night owl on the East Coast trying to do this. But we will be including some new shows, including Liam's monthly show over here on Sundays, involving the world of Rokugan. So we are. We're looking forward to that one. We'll get
Roku where? Rokugan.
If you guys weren't sick of Great Pendragon campaign, we're gonna have a great Legend of the Five Rings campaign as well. That's gonna be nuts.
Indeed. We'll also be doing The World Below on Tuesdays in a similar capacity. So I'll be running Matthew Dawkins, aka Onyx Path's The World Below, for a short campaign. We're not looking for a long one on that one. Finally, I have just a short, speaking of Rokugan, I have a short Topaz tournament. Not really one shot. It's probably going to be more like 6 to 8 shots, because these are all 2 hours and I want to dig into a bigger cast of people, but that will be taking place on Saturday nights. Just a single Topaz tournament full of lots of young would-be samurai trying to break into what will be their futures, and absolutely nothing will go wrong. So that will be exciting. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you all had fun. And I will see you next time. Take care.
Farewell.
Bye.
Yeah. So